The Apple Studio Display is nothing short of luxury. It's over-engineered to perfection to be the ultimate companion to your Mac. If you're like me, I've actually never owned a high-quality display before, so when I put the Studio Display in my home for the first time and I saw it with my own eyes, I was blown away. Yes, it's expensive, it cost over $2,000, and there are perfectly capable and cheaper 4K monitors from LG for a fraction of this cost, but none of them are 5K and built from the ground up to be the perfect companion for your Mac. And if perfection is what you're after, well, this is really the only display on the market that can do this with the Mac outside of the Pro Display XDR, which costs an arm and a leg, so I don't think a lot of you are gonna buy that one. So for today's video, I wanna focus on what I love about the Studio Display and why even after that hefty price tag of $3,000 Canadian, yes, in Canada, this thing costs literally an arm and a leg, that I'm still completely content with this monitor. Like, I've never been happy with a more expensive monitor purchase in my life, even if my wallet isn't so happy. I want to take a moment now to thank today's video sponsor, Anker. They sent over their 10-in-1 USB-C docking station for Mac users. You can level up your MacBook setup with this by connecting up to 3 monitors at the same time. And here are the breakdowns of the resolution depending on what configuration you decide to run with this. Therefore, I can be working on an edit on Final Cut Pro on one display while working on the thumbnail for that video on Lightroom on my MacBook Pro, all while still being able to browse the internet on Safari for important information on the main larger display thanks to Anker's docking station. And this whole process is very smooth. I can move windows from one monitor to the other with this docking station from Anker, and I have 0 issues. There's no delays at all. And you can connect anything you need for your workstation, as this dock features a variety of ports that you can use, and I'll put a list on screen for you guys to see just exactly what ports it comes with. I have to say though that I do love that I can fast charge my MacBook Pro at 100 watts with this docking station, while being able to charge my iPhone 14 Pro with its 30-watt power delivery port at the front of the dock. I'm honestly a huge fan of docks from Anker. I actually purchased with my own money their 12-in-1 Thunderbolt 4 docking station about a year ago, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made for my desk setup, just having a central hub that connects all of my accessories. It's really underrated. You'll know how useful it is if you have one on your desk for yourself. So if you guys are looking for a docking station, this Anker 10-in-1 USB-C docking station with its unrivaled performance will definitely meet your needs. Make sure to check the links out in the description down below if you want to buy one today. Thank you so much, Anker, for sponsoring today's video. The design of this display is an engineering masterpiece. It's made of 100% recycled aluminum, and to my knowledge, every other monitor out there is made of cheap plastic materials, and they don't really compare to how this Studio Display is built. Like, you can immediately tell the difference in build quality here. It's sturdy, it perfectly matches the Apple aesthetic of their MacBooks and iPhones, and if you go with the height adjustment, which I recommend you do, the hinge is buttery smooth. Moving the monitor up and down and tilting it to the perfect angle is effortless. I also love the overall presentation of the stand. It's just a giant slab of aluminum, and honestly, it just looks great. It's simple, but it is elegant, and it looks much better than all of the black monitor stands that come standard for any monitor you buy right now. You do have the option to save some money if you don't want to pay for the height adjustment and get the VESA mount adapter, but good luck trying to find something that looks as elegant as Apple's height adjustable stand. Also, Apple was able to build the power adapter inside the monitor, so all you have to do is just plug a thin cable into the wall. All other cheaper monitors require a thick power brick, which is just another thing you have to worry about regarding cable management. We will talk about the display and the 5K tech stuff very soon in this video, but I wanted to briefly mention what I felt was like the killer feature of this display, which is the speaker system. It is the best speakers Apple has ever put in a Mac, and they sound incredible. It's a 6-speaker system that supports Dolby Atmos and spatial audio, and it features 4 canceling woofers for the bass and 2 high-performance tweeters for the mids and highs. It sounds so much better than the MacBook Pros. It sounds even better than the iMac, which I have like just on my table right behind me, and that thing sounds amazing as well, but the Studio Display just kind of kicks it out of the water. Now let's talk about the meat of it all, the beautiful, stunning 27-inch 5K Retina display. One thing I will say though is that it does boast hefty bezels on the sides of the display. I would have liked thinner bezels here, but you grow past that very quickly. The quality of this 5K panel is going to be a little bit subjective. Like if you've never seen a 5K panel in your life, especially one from Apple, your mind is gonna be blown away like it did for me, because this is my first 5K panel ever. Like, I still get taken aback by how sharp and colorful the display is. I didn't know text could look this sharp, and I didn't realize web pages could look as good as this on a monitor until I tried the Studio display. The display does support True Tone as well, so if you own an iPhone, iPad, or MacBook, you probably are already used to this, where the display is actually going to automatically adjust its color temperature to match the lighting in your room, just to ease your eyes for what you're looking at. And also, I bought the standard glass version without the nano texture. I don't think that $400 upgrade is worth it. I found the standard model looked more vibrant and sharp in person at the Apple Store. I really believe you should only consider buying the nano texture if you are consistently, like 24/7, working beside a window where there's light beaming on your monitor at all times. Like, if that's not you, don't even consider buying nano texture. Save yourself the extra $400. A great thing about the Studio display is if you are entrenched in Apple's ecosystem and you own like an iPhone, iPad, or MacBook, the display technology across all Apple devices are held to the same standard. So if I took a picture on my iPhone and then I edited it on there, then I threw it to my iPad, made some edits on there, then threw it to my MacBook, made some edits on there, and then threw it to the Studio display, and then made some edits on there, the photo color uniformity is going to look the same across all of the devices. Whereas I used to actually run an LG ultra-wide monitor in the past. I love that thing, but one of the frustrations I had was if I did color adjustments on my MacBook Pro on the go for the videos I would post to this channel, and then I'd plug my MacBook into that LG ultra-wide, the colors would just be off. Like they wouldn't look the same. So it made it hard to color grade and edit photos and videos between that monitor and my MacBook, because they were clashing, they weren't lining up properly. Whereas with the Studio display and my MacBook Pro, everything is perfect. Okay, so something that isn't so great about this monitor is the built-in webcam. It's not terrible, but it's also not amazing considering the price that you're paying for this thing. It's just okay, like you can be the judge of it here. I'm actually shooting this video at night because that's when I make the most use of this webcam. I don't do any FaceTimes or video calls during the day. That always happens at night. So this is sort of the performance I've had to deal with. And I feel like a lot of you guys watching won't have ideal lighting setups. So this is a more honest representation of what the webcam could look like if you have no lights really beaming on you at all. But something that is actually quite good is the microphones built into the Studio display. I'm very impressed. It's a 3-mic array, and I think it sounds really good. I don't think you need to get a dedicated mic like a Blue Yeti, in my opinion. I think this gets the job done, but you can be the judge of it and let me know in the comment section down below. Also, another important thing that I want to address is the segment of people watching this video who have used Apple's ProMotion technology on the iPad Pro, iPhone Pro, or the MacBook Pros. As we all know, and maybe you don't know this, but the Studio display does not support 120 Hz. It is clocked in at exactly 60 Hz. And from my long-term experience with this monitor, I haven't had a moment where I felt that the fluidness of macOS on this display was held down. Like 60 Hz on the Studio display feels incredibly smooth. On the back of the display are 3 USB-C ports and 1 Thunderbolt port, which is excellent. It also has an iPhone A13 processing chip built into the display. Apple says that this powers the center stage, the spatial audio that you hear, as well as the ability to ask Siri anything with this monitor. Overall, the Studio display is outrageously expensive compared to other monitors you can buy right now for far less money. If you're someone that's looking for a good deal on a monitor, or if it's crossing your mind that maybe 4K resolution is enough for you, the Studio display was never meant for you. This was meant for people who absolutely need 5K resolution, for people who want perfect macOS scaling because of that, who want incredible speakers, who want a perfectly engineered aluminum body for their monitor, and they just want something that works perfectly with their Mac, there really isn't anything else out there except the Pro Display XDR, which basically cost a human body. The Studio Display really is a winner in a battle of none. I'm almost hesitant to say this, but I'm very confident in this statement in that anybody who buys a Studio Display, even though your wallet is going to be extremely upset with you, your mind and your experience with this thing, like, you're not going to be upset. I can almost guarantee that you're going to love this display. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out this video right here if you want to check out my latest MacBook Pro desk setup, which actually features the Studio Display as well as other accessories that I use to do the work that you see here on this channel every single week. Anyways, thank you for watching. Drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next video. Peace.